Hi everyone, it's Marie here from Peartree Cutfiles. I'm taking part today in the Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube hop. This is a hop that happens once a month. This here is the layout we are scrap lifting today. This hop is open to anyone who wants to join in, who wants to use some mixed media, make a YouTube video and basically join in. So I decided to try and make myself do more mixed media because I love it, and to give myself a bit more time for scrapbooking for myself. I've given myself a few challenges each month to try and do, and this is one of them, and I do love the lifts we've been doing recently. So for my lift today, I've decided to use alcohol inks. I love alcohol inks. There's a couple of reasons. Firstly, you'll see in a moment, I love just watching them. I love what they do when they move around on a piece of paper. And also, they're really, really quick. They dry so easily, and they don't make your paper go all bumpy because I'm actually using a special paper here. So this is Yupo paper. I've just made a little mark there, as you can see on the Yupo, and I've stuck it down to a sheet of similarly coloured cardstock to the alcohol ink colour that I'm going to be using. The reason for this is you can't buy Yupo paper specifically in 12 by 12. You have to buy it in A3 and then cut it down. Therefore, it's not quite big enough. It's not quite the right size. It is just slightly smaller than 12 by 12. So by putting it onto a piece of cardstock, not only are you making it the right size, but you're also giving it a little bit of strength. Yupo paper is basically plastic paper. You can't tear it. It's awesome stuff. But it's really floppy, so you just need a little bit of strength. So by adding the piece of cardstock behind, I've given it some strength and some stability, and I've made it that full size. So what I'm doing here is I just keep dropping on more of the alcohol ink. I'm using the Ranger alcohol inks. This is the colour Pool. And I'm then adding on some isopropanol alcohol, which is basically the blending solution that you can buy. It's the same stuff. And what that does is it kind of releases the alcohol ink and it helps it to move around on the page, helps it to spread and blend and overlap, and some bits are dry and some bits are wet, so they overlap each other. Oh, it just gives the most amazing effect, and just sitting and watching it, it just spreads on its own. While you're busy doing like one part of it, the other part's drying and it's spreading around, and it just looks awesome. So I'm going to have that strip of stripy paper down that left hand side, and I want the colour from the alcohol inks to kind of come out from underneath that strip of paper. So I just keep popping it over the top and looking where it's up to make sure I've got everything in the right sort of place. Dropping on bits more colour, dropping on a bit more alcohol, the blending solution. With the blending solution, the more of it you use, the lighter the colour you will get and the further it will spread. So I haven't used hardly any of the alcohol ink itself, really, just maybe 10-15 drops of it, and quite a bit of the blending solution, but it just gives them those beautiful like cloudy shades, and I just love them. The other thing I love about this is that it doesn't make your paper go all wobbly. I don't know if I've said this already, but it doesn't make the paper go all wobbly because it's speciality paper just for these alcohol inks, and the paper stays completely flat. That's my one bugbear with mixed media, is that you do get wobbly pages, and it really bugs me. So that's why I love alcohol inks, because like I say, you can just move them around, use as much of them as you want, but the paper never goes wobbly. So I've stuck that stripy paper down now. I'm going to use that cut file there. That's called, I think it's called Caught on Camera, from Peartree Cutfiles. And I'm using some Vicky Bootin alphas there, the like newspapery ones, the one that says Stranded and then Drive In, which is what I'm just writing now, and then just some white alphas. I think they're from Pink Fresh Studio, for the at the in the middle. So I am documenting a picture of my husband and I, who recently went to our first drive-in movie at Harewood House. It was the Luna drive-in movie, and we watched The Greatest Showman. And it was absolutely brilliant. I've never done one before, always wanted to. It was my husband's 40th birthday, so we're looking for something to do. Obviously, lockdown's making things still a little bit tricky sometimes. So found this and decided really, really wanted to go. We had a wonderful time. I made a picnic, hid that in the boot, so my husband didn't know where we were going. I didn't know the picnic was in the car, and yeah, it was all a big surprise, and it was fabulous. It was the best evening. As you drive in, you get given this speaker that you put inside your car. And it's just amazing. It was fantastic. The sound quality was awesome, and it was just a brilliant night. So yeah, lots of fun. We definitely want to do that again in the future. So what you've seen me do is punch some stars using my little star punch there. Now that one's a really special star punch because it not only cuts out the shape of a star, but it embosses it as well, and you end up with lines in the star. And I did think, I've got these LE Studio dies, which one I accidentally used upside down in my die cutter, and I've now got the impression of it on the bottom plate. I'm really cross with myself for doing that. But I decided I would do a load of punches, do a load of dies as well. And then when I put them on, they were too similar in size to the ones I'd already done. So I decided to leave them off in the end. The smaller ones weren't big enough and they had rounded corners, whereas the larger ones had sharper corners. It just wasn't quite right. So I've left those off in the end. I haven't used them. I've just stuck my Cutfile, the film strip there, down with some Glossy Accents. Glossy Accents, great for doing actual glossy accents, but also really, really good for doing for sticking things down. It's like it's a really, really cool glue. And I'm just making a tag here out of some more of that stripy paper to pop my photograph on. And then I'm going to use some of this Punchinella. This is what's left over when you punch out sequins. And they actually sell this as a product. You can buy it on sort of eBay. And it's just a great little added texture around the edge. So I've stuck that behind my photograph and I've added a little bit of string onto the photo as well. I'm now going to put some foam on the back to prop it up, give it a little bit of dimension, because so far this layout is quite flat and I do like a bit of dimension on my layouts. Now I'm just going to line it up so that the stripes are opposite. I didn't plan this, it just worked out. The stripes are opposite to this from the tag that's behind the photograph to the stripes on the side of the page. And I'm now just using some little foam dots to stick my stars on. I'm not trying to line these up in any way. I just wanted them sort of dotted all over the page, all around that title. Which I'm really happy with the title. I think it all ties in beautifully. And I do only use these colours for the whole layout. I do only use that blue and then the black and whitey creamy colours. Adding a strip of this, it's like acetate ribbon, and it's from Tim Holtz. I've used a couple of rolls of it already. It's wonderful stuff. It's a great little embellishment. These are some Puffy star stickers from LE Studio. And I'm just using the black and white ones. I've put the black on the white part of the page and I've put the white ones on the black stripes on the left hand side of the page. I do put those, I think they are Doodlebug stars. I do put those on and in the end I do take them back off again. The blue, they just didn't look quite right. I wasn't quite happy with those. So they do come back off. And I've got an LE Studio little Puffy sticker to put down the side of the photograph that says the best kind of day. Now I've got lots and lots of amazing acrylic pieces. These are called Perspectives from Bramble Fox, and that star one was just perfect. And I've also got one of those little viewfinders at the top of the photograph as well. Again, glossy accents to stick them down. Again, it's just really strong stuff when it dries, so that's perfect just to pop those on there. And I'm really happy with how that is looking. The last thing I'm going to do is grab some of the Tim Holtz little phrase stickers. These are like little typed phrase stickers, and I find two. I find one that says together and then one that says us, and I put those on that Cutfile. I do contemplate putting a few more on, but I didn't want to overload the photograph. Oh, I do a few other things. I put some thread in. I put it there to start with and I didn't like it. So then I put it at the other end of the photograph and I quite like that, just sticking out to match up with the other one. There go the stars. I'm taking those back off. Not quite happy with those. They didn't look quite right to me. This is the last thing I'm going to do, which is to take some Liquitex acrylic black ink and just do some splatters all over the white part of the page. I want some little ones and then I want some slightly bigger ones. And that is it. My layout is complete. Thank you ever so much for watching today. Hope you've enjoyed my process. It was quite a quick one, quite an easy layout, and it came together really, really quickly in the end. And if you ever want to join in with the Mixed Media Frenzy, just hop along to the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook group, and they post in there about the monthly challenge that everyone can get involved in. Like I say, thanks ever so much for watching. Check out the description box below for everybody else's videos. Bye for now.